Hello everyone. Today we will look at implementing our machine learning algorithms which we have learned. We will look at the actual implementation of those using Google Colab. So before we begin, I would like to tell one thing, that you need not know all the steps and the equation which are used in the algorithm. Just a basic outline would be fine, since we have different functions and classes which will help us in that. So let us begin. So I'll be implementing in Google Colab. There are other ways as well. You can use Kaggle, create a notebook there and run this. Or you can use Jupyter Notebook, but I prefer Kaggle and I will use it for this tutorial. So first we drive mount. After you run this cell, you will get a link and you have to authorize that. So when you will click on that link, you will get a code. You just need to copy and paste it here and that will be done. After that, you need to upload your dataset on Google Drive. After you have done that, you need to run these two lines of code, and what this does is changes your directory to where your current dataset is located. So my dataset was located under my drive, tutorials, and in the KNN folder. So according to where your dataset is located, you need to switch to that folder. So these two blocks of code you will need to write every time you use Google Colab. So let us begin with the actual code. First we will import some libraries which will help us. We import NumPy and Pandas. I hope that before you start this tutorial, you have some brief idea about NumPy and Pandas. You need not know everything in detail, just the basic functions would be fine. Okay, so I told you previously that for implementing the models in practical use, you need not know all these steps, all the equations, just outline how they work and what are the different kinds of models and on where all they are used will be fine. Since we have sklearn, we can directly use those models which are predefined and it makes our task very easy. So we will use these libraries. From sklearn.model selection, we import train test split. So it was help in splitting the dataset into train and test set. And from sklearn.preprocessing, we import label encoder. This we will see later what this does and how it helps us. From sklearn, we import different types of models which we'll be using: SVM, neighbors, naive based, linear model, we have logistic regression, decision trees and metrics. Okay, so after that we load our dataset. So you can find the dataset from here. So after clicking this link, you will go on to this website, UCI machine learning repository, and this is the car evaluation dataset and you can download it from here. So after downloading, you just need to upload it in Google Drive and go to the particular folder. So after that, I will load the dataset from pandas.read.csv and then data.head, which will print the first 5 rows. You just need the first 5 rows to have an idea of how the dataset is. Or I have also opened it in Excel. So here is the dataset. I have added this first row. This was not there, so I need to add this. And why I added this is because when you go to the website, you can see that you have these features, which is buying price, maintenance, dose, person, luck, boot, safety. And in buying we have different classes like very high, high, medium, low. Similarly, maintenance we have very high, high, medium, low, different types of different numbers of doors, different number of persons, and so on. So these heading, this first row was not given in the dataset, so I added it here. And the output variable, which is the label, is the class values, and these are classified into unaccommodated, accommodated, good, or very good. Okay, so we have loaded our dataset. So we can see that both the input features and the output are in the same table, so we need to separate these out. So what I have done is created this X, which will contain our input labels, and from this data I have just extracted these columns, the buying one, maintenance, safety. I have removed the others such as those, persons, and so on, since I don't think they would be useful. You can try out these permutation combination, taking more features and see how your model works, but for this tutorial I would just be taking these three columns. And then dot values does is changes into an array, and similarly for Y I have taken the class column, and so we have separated out our input variable and our labels, our features and labels. Next we print it out and see how this is. So this is our X and this is our Y. Okay, so one thing you might have noticed is that while we were discussing a theory, we were dealing with numerical values. We were only dealing with numerical values and calculating, like we had different equations, but here we can see that our dataset contains some strings. So how do we deal with this? So let me give you an idea of what we will be doing. Suppose we have this feature which has very high, high, medium, low. So for this we assign each class a numerical value. For very high we give 1, for high 2, for medium 3, and for low 4. Similarly for maintenance we give very high 1, medium, high 2, medium 3, and low 4, and so on. So that thing we have done here. So for that we use label encoder. We have created an object LE from label encoder, and we run a for loop from 0 to the length of x0. X0 is actually the first row and its length is 3. So I goes from 0 to 2, and this one takes all the rows and the column. So one by one it takes the column, and it fit transform. Fit transform does the same thing which I told you, that takes one class, assigns it 1, this takes this, assigns it 2, and so on. And after that we have printed out our X. So you can see earlier it was in string format. Now I have changed it into a numerical format. Same thing you can do it with Y. Here I have mentioned one more method by which you can do, by creating a dictionary and then mapping it into Y. So I have used this method since this takes few lines of code. Okay, so till here we have seen that our string data set has been converted into a numerical format. If we want to see which number corresponds to what, we can check it from here. So the first one here is 2 and the first one here is unaccommodated, so this one maps to this one. Suppose if we take the last one, which is very good, and here the number 3, so we know that very good is mapped to 3, similarly good is mapped to 1, and so on. Now that we have our features and labels, we will split them into train and test dataset. We will train our model on the test dataset, and we will calculate our score, our accuracy on the test dataset. Okay, so we will apply our first model to our dataset. As I had already mentioned you 2 times that you need not know all the steps since we have different functions. So we had imported neighbors, and from neighbors.kneighbors classifier we create an object. We pass two parameters here, which is the n neighbors and weights, and with this object we just fit X train and Y train. So see how easy it is. We just need to write one line of code and our model is trained. After model is trained, we get the predictions from knn.predict and we pass the test dataset. So prediction knn contains our prediction. Next we calculate the accuracy with this matrix.accuracy score, and we pass the y test, which is the actual label, and our predicted label. Then we print the accuracy and we also print the classification report. So you can see that we get an accuracy of around 75%, and this is our classification report. Okay, so we can see that the F1 score for the label dataset 3 or 1 is very low, and this is very obvious because the number of examples for 2 is 243, but for these two it is 12 and 15. So this dataset is very skewed. So for that you can either take more datasets, or you can take more datasets if you have, but since our dataset is limited, we have to go on with this. And since this is very biased, it results in very bad F1 score for 3 and also for 2. Okay, we have seen how easy it is to apply KNN with just functions. Now we'll apply logistic regression. The format is same. We first create an object from linear model.logistic regression. Then we fit our X train and Y train. You can again see that just by using one line of code, we need not write all the equations and all those cost function and hypothesis function, which you can just write one line of code and our model is trained. Then using dot predict, we predict our output labels, and then we calculate this accuracy score by passing the actual label and the predicted label, and we also calculate the classification report, and finally we print the accuracy and the classification report. So you can see that we get an accuracy of 70.2% here, and this is our classification report. Again you can see that the F1 score is very poor in these two, since the number of data sets for 1 and 3 is very low. Okay, next model is naive Bayes classifier. Again the same method, using naive Bayes.Gaussian NB, we create an object. We use that object to fit our train and test dataset, and then using dot predict, we predict our output labels, and we calculate the accuracy score and the classification report and then print it. So using this, our accuracy has decreased too much. It is around 57.5% and F1 score is around 0.56. Next we'll use support vector machine. Again this is the similar way. Using svm.svc, we create an object, and then dot fit, we fit our model on the train and on the train dataset, and using dot predict we get our output label and the accuracy score and the classification report. We just print it out. Here we can see that we have got a slightly higher accuracy, which is 74%, and the F1 score is also good compared to the previous models. Okay, so finally we'll use random forest classifier. So similarly we do that using ensemble.random forest classifier. We create an object and then we fit it in X train and Y train and then predict it, and then you calculate the accuracy score and the classification report, and finally we print the accuracy and the classification report. So we have seen that using libraries how easy it is. We can just write 2 or 3 lines of code and we can fit our model. So we have seen that using random forest we get pretty high accuracy score, but using naive Bayes we get a low accuracy score. So we can compare using different models, and it doesn't take much time, just 2 or 3 lines of code and we get our predicted output. So this sklearn provides us with a very good library how we can implement our models. So I hope that from the next time you will use this library and you will get better results. And I hope that you have understood how we implement our models, not by doing all the equations and all the steps, but how we can use libraries and simplify our task. With this, I would like to end this tutorial. Thank you.